Andrea Adelson. I'm the editor of the Laguna Beach Independent. I'm here with the current mayor, Jane Agley. She is seeking re-election this November. Jane, will you tell us a little bit, a synopsis of your life story and what brings you to this place where seeking office is the all-consuming job that it is? Why you want her this time?
Well, I don't exactly know what in life got me to wanting this, except I was a middle child in a big family, and the oldest girl, and so I think I learned how to not manage that group, but get along in that group. I grew up on the East Coast, outside of Washington, D.C., went to law school, actually finished law school in Detroit, Michigan, because my then husband, we moved from Chapel Hill to Detroit, Michigan. After that, came to California, did some family law, did some work in subdivided land. I was the one that introduced to California law the idea of the child in a custody case, in a family law custody case, where there was fight over custody of the child having an attorney. And all of that time after I moved to Laguna Beach in 1984, I was first peripheral on the activities and then more involved. Paul was one of the original 5 with Jim Dilley that started the open space. And I just thought that was the best idea I had ever heard. He was creative in other ideas, and that sort of brought me into Laguna politics.
So, but you mentioned specifically the skills that are necessary for a councilman. So what is it? What skills are required? And what do you possess? What skills about the job can you fulfill?
Okay, well, I think any skill you have may very well work on the council. One of the things I like about our council members, we're all a little bit different, and everybody has somewhat different background. So we bring, a basket of skills. I think the skills I have is my legal training. I'm not a lawyer. I don't act like a lawyer on the council, but the legal training and thinking and processing a problem, that comes from my training and my being an attorney. Again, being the middle child in a family, learning how to try to get along with people that you love but you disagree with. Learning to talk less and listen more, which was not an automatic with me, and sometimes people have to remind me that I need to do that again. Interested in a lot of things. I read a lot. My husband reads a great deal. We've traveled a lot. See, I think all of that helps in being in the council, because you have skills with people and you understand the importance of making a decision and being careful. But probably any one decision is not going to end the world or begin the world. So you have to be careful, but you make the decision and you move on and you hope that it works. And if it doesn't, you can always try to soften it, sharpen it, or whatever is necessary. And I can't really think of one right now that would be like that. Yeah.
So if re-elected, are there some specific issues that you intend to champion?
Continue to. Before I even got on council, I wanted to have the streets of Laguna more accessible by things other than cars. We didn't have the word complete streets at the time, and I still want to push for that. Now, a lot of the cities it's easier to do because they're flat, they have these long boulevards, they're very wide. Laguna is more challenging. But I hope to see more sidewalks built so that people can walk, or if they can't walk, that the streets are safer. So that would be sharrows or bike lanes or softening, what they call street softening. So that, for example, on Broadway, they're doing the beautification. I think the beautification with the art and the planting, it's going to make people walking along there feel safer. They're safe now, but feel safer because they're going to be a bit of a barrier between they and the cars that come in. Those are the kinds of things.
Is there something personal, perhaps a story that you can tell us that you think is revealing, that maybe isn't in your campaign literature, but that you think that voters should know?
I don't know how revealing this is. This is Becky Jones is helping with the campaign, and she's been a friend for a long time, and she likes this story and thinks it's revealing. I don't know if you finished or read Cairo's book about Lyndon Johnson, The Path to Power. There have been a series of them. This is the 4th. Well, when I was 14, 15 and lived outside of Washington, I would skip school. At the end of every 6-week period, there was sort of a bye day at school. You had school, but I would go downtown to Washington. My mother knew I was doing that too, and I'd watch the Senate hearings. I had actually gone down to see that cute new senator from Massachusetts, John Kennedy. But I was sitting up in the gallery, and I'm a kid. I'm a child, not very sophisticated. And I realized within a very few minutes that Lyndon Baines Johnson was a man of power. He was masterful to watch. It was overwhelming. I mean, his size, everything about him. And I was very disappointed when he didn't get the nomination when John Kennedy got it, because nobody knew Kennedy. Of course, Cairo's book points out the difference. Johnson was a power in the Senate and in Washington. Kennedy was known all over the country, so it all worked out just well. But watching that and watching the senators debate and argue with each other on the floor, and then you'd see them going out, say, where are we going to go to dinner tonight? Who's buying? So I thought, these guys know how to work together. They know that they have to work together, and they were pretty much all guys then. They have to work together, so they didn't create as much ill will between them as you see today. And I can't imagine anything that's been done in the world that hasn't been done when you've brought people together to try to create a solution. And generally when that happens, no one gets all they want. But they figure that this group or this idea is better than my idea or your idea. So I think that was quite a lesson, and it's been reinforced again by reading these Cairo books. Now, Johnson wasn't always nice, but I didn't know that part.
Especially if you're a dog lover.
He'd be holding the tail up. Anyway.
I think it was the ears.
No, it was the ears. That's right. And the scar.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, we wish you luck.
He's not my hero. He was fascinating. I didn't really like him, but I was fascinated by that guy. But anyway, thank you.
You're welcome. Best of luck.
Thank you very much, Andrea.